Thanks for joining us for another episode of Can We Help? A glimpse into the future, not with a crystal ball, but this week's Ask the Expert. What do you think about the future? Do you have hope for the future?
I have great hope for the future.
Good on you for being, positive.
I am.
We're going to talk to a futurist now in this week's Ask the Expert. If you want to look into the future, forget the tarot cards. Here at Can We Help, we've gone to futures forecaster Morris Misalowski. Morris has been compiling probabilities for the future for years, and tonight he jumps into the hot seat to answer your questions. Cynthia Hood from Campbelltown in South Australia wants to know, how long will it take for Australia to deplete its natural resources?
The statistics on that is that we've got about 67 years worth of gas left. We've got in Australia about 20 years of oil production left, worldwide about 64 years of oil production. So we've got enough to keep us going. We're also on the cusp of a huge change. So we're going to see different energy sources come in over the next 10 or 20 years, and that will most probably downgrade the need for the oil that we have. One of my greatest concerns is not about any of that energy at all. It's really about the water that we use. And in 2050, we're predicting that about 2/3 of people are going to have some sort of water shortage. I think that's something that we need to start to be addressing more than we are currently.
Francis Rowland from WA wants to know if global warming will one day force us to live in the middle of Australia.
I couldn't imagine it's going to. The reality is that as Australians, we have tried to avoid inland in any great way. 70% of our population in Australia at the moment lives within an hour's drive of the coast. The other thing that I'm not sure about is if we are affected by global warming to that extent, surely the deserts are going to be a lot worse affected than the inland. The question is really, beyond that, why aren't we living in the deserts anyway? In the Middle East, they've been able to make really great use of the desert land, and they've brought them back and reclaimed them. So as Australians, I think perhaps we should be doing that, but I don't think it'll eventuate because of global warming.
And Paul and Kathy Bly from Queensland are wondering, what kind of population can Australia sustain in the future?
We have about 21 million at the moment. By 2020, again, the Australian Bureau of Statistics tells us we're going to have about 23 million, and we're somewhere around 2050, most probably going to be about 28 million, somewhere around there. Australia at the moment can definitely support those numbers. The question is, what sort of lifestyle do we want to have ongoing? What sort of resource allocation do we want to have for people? How are we going to be able to budget the things we currently have and use for a greater sense of population? My sense is that Australia certainly geographically can hold a lot more. And I think with our resources, we can easily go to 30 or 40 million if we become thriftier at using our resources.
And many thanks to Morris.